Who better than Mr. Krishna Kumar, Managing Director at SBI, to join in on the show and talk about all the news that's doing the rounds for SBI. Mr. Kumar, appreciate you taking the time out and joining us on the show. First, the talking point this morning. You have classified Kingfisher Airlines' loan as an NPA. Will this be reflected in the December quarter numbers? And what about your exposure to the rest of the aviation sector?
Well, good morning. I don't think I'll be able to talk specifically about this particular industry because I don't handle it. But to the first part of your question, yes, it will be reflected in our December quarter results.
Just for the benefit of our viewers, I want to understand that how does State Bank of India treat NPA? Do you plan to amortize, or do you amortize NPAs in one quarter? Would you be amortizing large NPAs spread across several quarters? I just want to understand the process.
No, the process is quite transparent. The moment an account is declared as an NPA, it falls into what is called the substandard category, and we stop accruing interest on that particular account. And further, at the end of the quarter, we have to make a provision as per the Reserve Bank of India's stipulated norms. So in the case of a substandard account, we have to provide 20% of the loan amount as a provision in our books. And after 1 year, if the account still remains substandard, it then goes into what is called the doubtful category, which lasts from about 1 to 3 to 5 years. And beyond the 5th year, it's treated as a loss, which is fully provided for. We don't amortize the loan in that sense, but we do make a provision as per the status of the account, whether it's substandard, doubtful or loss.
So as of now, Kingfisher Airline is a NPA, but it is still not on loss, and you may not provide for the KFA loan in this quarter?
No, we will have to provide 20% as for the substandard category norms.
Right. Mr. Kumar, let's shift focus to the other stressed sectors like infrastructure, especially power. I mean, could there be substantial increase in NPAs from this segment as well?
Right now, I don't believe we are seeing much additional stress here. But it's too early days yet. I don't think I have a proper sense of the figures for the December quarter on this sector right now.
Given the way how cost of borrowing is still high, corporate earnings are coming under pressure, bad loans are moving up, do you think you will be able to maintain your full year NPA guidance, or you're likely to overshoot it?
Hopefully we should be able to maintain the guidance, but again, this is a dynamic thing and I cannot really make a prediction on what it will be like in March. But the other part of the question which is related maybe is that we are still seeing a very strong growth in our net interest margins. So I think that should be the positive for us.
Mr. Kumar, we've seen a substantial increase in requests for CDR and restructuring in the recent times. Would there be expected to be substantial increase in restructured loans in the March and June quarters for you?
Probably there could be more companies willing to come under the CDR mechanism, because that is something which cannot be done overnight. You know, it needs a lot of work, and then it needs to be cleared by the CDR empowered group, which is a huge process. But yes, I think in the current year, that is the current calendar year, 2012, we could see many more companies coming under the CDR mechanism.
But then would this not, Mr. Kumar, further strain asset quality, as nearly, 1/5 of restructured loans have turned into NPAs in the past?
Possibly, but then, see, going into the CDR does not necessarily mean that the account is a non-performing asset. Because if the account is still standard, we can still get into CDR if we if we get early warning signals of stresses appearing in the account. So that will not, in such a case, such accounts will not be NPAs, even though they are under CDR.
Mr. Kumar, while we are talking about NPAs and how asset quality is a key concern, a word on recoveries and how they have moved for State Bank of India for the quarter gone by.
See, the recoveries have been good, especially in the retail and the agriculture sector. But this is not to say that there have not been fresh slippages. There have been fresh slippages. But my sense is that the fresh slippages have plateaued in a manner of speaking. And I do not think that the fresh slippages are as much as they were in the quarter ending September 11. So overall, I would say that the net NPA position, the gross NPA position is plateauing a bit. There are still signs of stress, but the situation is much better than one anticipated in October and November.
Mr. Kumar, with the economy slowing down, how much of a slowdown can we see in demand for credit growth, and what is your target? Do you still maintain your credit growth target of 16 to 17% in FY12?
Yes, we do, because in the last few weeks of December, last couple of weeks of December, there has been a robust increase in credit demand and credit growth for us. And I think by the end of March 12, we should certainly be seeing somewhere in the band of 16 to 18%, at the upper end of the band, maybe 17 to 18%.
Right. Mr. Kumar, your chairman, Mr. Chaudhary, in the last week of December indicated that State Bank of India expects a 6,000 crore capital infusion from Government of India soon. Have you got any formal communication from the ministry?
I don't have a direct knowledge of this particular matter, but yes, we have received a communication saying that the government will be putting in money in State Bank of India. The exact timing, I think, is just a matter of a couple of weeks this way or that. Definitely before March 12. And
is the number anywhere close to 4,000 to 6,000, or it will certainly not cross 6,000?
Frankly, I'm not aware about the exact number, but it should be in that. I don't think it will be beyond the figure you mentioned, but frankly, I do not know the exact number which has been discussed.
Word on how retail lending has moved for State Bank of India, especially in the personal loan segment and in the home loan segment. Given that we have cost of capital there also has moved up, are you getting a sense that delinquencies in the retail lending space could increase?
No, in fact, contrarily, the delinquencies in the retail space have not increased. And in fact, the NPAs in our home loan segment are much below the average NPAs for the bank. There has been a growth in the retail segment, in the home loans as well as in the auto loans, but not to the same quantum as was at the same period last year. But then the current quarter, January to March quarter, we do expect a robust growth in both home loans and auto loans, because the month of December alone has seen quite a substantial increase in the home loan disbursements and the auto loan disbursements. Having said this, probably we should also keep in mind that at the same period last year, as far as home loans are concerned, we had the tiered rate of interest, which was much lower at about 8-9% whatever, and now the rates of interest are in double digits. So keeping that in mind, I think the growth has been quite good.
Mr. Kumar, when US 64 collapse, SUTI was created, and now what we understand from Finance Ministry is that government is looking at either monetizing the total asset of SUTI by pledging shares or by selling stake in it. Have you been approached by Finance Ministry to understand that? Are you interested in picking up stake in SUTI?
Well, I don't know much about this topic except for the fact that there was a discussion yesterday in the Finance Ministry on this subject, but I don't really know the outcome of those discussions.
What was the nature of the discussion? Can you broadly enlighten us on that?
No, I was not part of that meeting, so I do not know exactly what was discussed, but there was a discussion yesterday in the Ministry of Finance on this topic with the State Bank of India.
So 2011 was a tough year for State Bank of India. NPAs went up, credit growth rate they slowed down, but what State Bank of India did positively was they were able to protect their NIMs. Are you confident of protecting your NIMs in this calendar year as well?
Certainly we are, because as we have been saying in the past as well, our strength is our current account, savings account balances, which are still very robust and very strong. And in the last 2 quarters we have shown a substantial increase in NIM, which would also go ahead in the quarter ending December 11. Our NIMs for the current quarter would be also, that is for the quarter ending December 11, it would also be very strong. And I don't see any reason why the NIMs cannot continue to grow in the current calendar year as well. We are pretty bullish about the NIM outlook for the current year.
30 seconds to answer this one, Mr. Kumar. Saving rates have been deregulated. Are you losing your saving deposits?
No, we are not. In fact, that's what has been surprising, because though we have not tinkered with the savings bank rate of interest after the deregulation, we have in fact seen a substantial growth in our savings bank balances. So seeing that fact, I don't think we are really looking at tinkering with the savings bank rate at the present moment. But this is, again, as I keep saying, this is purely a dynamic situation and depends on what the competitors do and how the market reacts and how the interest rates generally move in the next quarter or so. But right now we have no plans to tinker with the savings bank interest rate.